Joseph West getting us underway on target number 2.
8.
Starts with an 8.
We Jayden with the phone. Jayden
Finding the centre early on.
Choose the 9.
9 for Joe. And how much of this setting for these fixed pins, guys, how much of it is done over on that training field, on the practice range, and then, can there be any adjustment in the conditions when they walk the 50 meters across here?
I mean, no matter where you are on this field, it's going to be slightly different, but the wind just keeps changing and they have to keep fighting with it. And it's crazy, but one direction, 1 minute, and a different direction the next.
That hard. Jayden with the 10.
Jayden finishing with a 6. So as those scores suggest, just the fluctuating fortunes in these conditions.
But just annoyed for his that plays pulled from University of Cumberlands.
Well, and it'll be interesting. Both University of the Cumberlands. It's interesting how their own fans, how their own teammates are going to be divided on who to cheer for.
Thanks.
No matter what, though, they're coming out with the win, so it has to be great.
Yeah, both going to get a gold and a silver from this. The awards ceremony last night was held. In fact, they're going to have gold, silver, bronze. Cumberlands.
And he's happy because he's got those defenders.
Jackson Ratajak, was second seed, got the bronze. 139-133 win against Wyatt Burt of Lindsay Wilson College.
He's got the communities and today. That's
not a bad day then for the Cumberlands in fixed pins. Getting silver and bronze in fixed pins women, and they'll be getting gold, silver and bronze in fixed pins men.
That's pretty impressive overall.
Not a bad sweep.
Not at all.
Jayden with 21 points. Joseph West with 27. Getting the 2 clubs.
So 6-point gap after that first end.
The wind's definitely picking up for these guys.
It absolutely is, isn't it?
No. Jayden's with an 8.
Starts with an 8. He's going to have to land some big arrows. There's Jayden.
Let's go with the 8.
And just matching him is Joseph. Is there any kind of rivalry within that? In other words, fixed pins are doing well for Cumberlands. Does that motivate the other Cumberlands archers that are compound? We can't have fixed pins taking all the glory.
I feel like it could. I mean, fixed pins are really showing up for Cumberlands, and the other team's got to pull up too and show how they can do the sweep for the team.
Got a great coach, Chris Strebeck, as well, and wonderful program. University of the Cumberlands.
10 with an
9 for Jayden to finish there. As we say, a 6-point gap after the first end.
And take the high.
Looking to the heavens was Joseph there. A little fist bump with his teammate. So how long have you been involved with archery? Has it been a lifelong passion for you?
It pretty much has. I started competing when I was about 5 or 6, so about 14 years now.
Okay. And how difficult has the balance, I mean, we mentioned it earlier, how difficult has that balance of study and archery been?
For me, it's never really been too much of a difficult thing. I always loved school and I've always loved competing archery. So just finding the time in the 24-hour day to do both. And it's been hard, but at the same time, it's been rewarding. I get to shoot collegiate now, so it's been so much fun.
And it must be fascinating because you're all one team as archers, but you're all different studies and just different backgrounds, different personalities. What's that like, all coming together, and particularly with a road trip like this? And as you say, you've got a long journey back, plenty of time to bond. How important is that within the sport of archery?
Oh, it's most definitely important. We're like one big family, and our team's just growing, and it's just adding to the family. We all have fun with it. We're all, no matter what, outside of classes, we're hanging out with each other, and it's just a great time always.
Because it's an individual sport in the main.
Yes.
So again, I imagine that's what makes the team event and the mixed team events so much more enjoyable because, as I say, most of the time the sport is, you can be quite isolated. You're competing against yourself and the opponent. So these team events brings it all together.
It definitely does. It's great to have your team behind you, riled up, just yelling for you, cheering you on. But individual can be very, very lonely by yourself.
Can be a lonely place. 8 points now. The difference between these two archers from University of the Cumberlands, the fixed pins collegiate men. Joseph just waiting a little longer. Normally hits around the 6-second mark. That got down to almost 4 seconds.
The timing of it is so important. Just holding a little bit longer too, even with the swing, can just make the shot different.
Yes, with an 8.
I was going to say the wind has kind of died down a little, but I think it's just the fact that it's not blowing in our faces. It's still pretty active out there.
The flags are going. They're definitely flying, but I think it's the wind's not in our face now.
It's the Norrin. So
And we talk about it all the time. Over the last few days even, these archers have been competing alongside one another out on an open field, and for the main part, operating in isolation. They've not had the focus that they've got now with their teammates behind them, and in this stadium feel on this finals field. And again, that must add to a little bit of the tension. You've got a greater focus on your performance.
All attention's on you now from every team, just looking at you. So it's definitely a little more tense.
Is there any way that you as a team, are you able to practice that before you come in to the event? I mean, do you practice pressure situations? Did you practice, that intensity that you were going to get when you got here?
We always try to, but it's always different when you're there and it's just you and your teammates compared to here when you have all the eyes on you, the big stage, sitting here in the field with just two of you shooting. It's just completely different. It's never as nerve-wracking as when you're just here. So you try, but you can't recreate this till you're in the moment.
And of course the weather, you can't predict that either.
No, you cannot.
The end of end number 3. When the gap remains at point 79
Arctic one was
to Joseph,
for Jayden,
71 for Jayden.
and on Project 3 drone was 79. Shape if you first.
End number 4.
9 point.
9 for Jayden. He's got to start to try and eat into that deficit.
Called Bell. Go with the 7.
He's picked up 2 points. The gap is now 6. This would be quite the turnaround.
Jayden with the
Another 9. So maybe just turning the screw a little bit on his teammate.
Yeah. That shoots him on it.
Okay. Joseph responds. 6 points remains the difference.
And Jayden with a 8.
9, 9, 8 for Jayden. 7 and 9 for Joseph.
And Joe with the 8.
And he matched it with an 8. So he's picked up 2 points as Jayden. 6 points will be the difference going into the final end. It might be just too much to ask.
Let's not queen just from the tribute that is.
I'm seeing a bit of blue sky as well. Look at that, which is nice. I'm not sure we saw much of that yesterday, did we?
No, we did not. When the sun came out, everyone was like, whoa, what's this? And everyone was so happy. And then it went away a couple seconds later.
Yeah, it was difficult conditions for the Archers yesterday. Bear bow coming up after this. And then we'll be onto compound and finishing off with recurve for the individual gold medal matches before we'll take a short break and then back with mixed team competition, which should be even more lively. That certainly the team competition yesterday afternoon, that was fantastic. It was from one end of the range, one end of the field to the other. You could hear the different chants and, you say, cowbells and all sorts of noise that was going on. It was difficult to keep track of everything that was happening on the field yesterday afternoon.
Build it his first.
103 to 97.
Joe with an 8.
8. Now Jayden's got to try and better that if he's going to put some pressure on his opponent.
Joe will let us down.
And he does so with a 10. The gap is now 4 points. As I said, this could be quite the turnaround.
Joe with another 8.
Another 8. So if Jayden lands another 10, let's game on.
Well, with a mile.
A 9, so it's 3 points, the difference.
Back then.
We've got 2 or 3 layers and blankets.
That's fine.
A 10, so that's a pump of the fist. He needed that one.
And Jayden Bennett was an 8.
An 8, so it's back to 5 points. And success and victory for Joseph West, University of the Cumberlands. Got to within 3 points and wasn't to be. That comeback denied by Joseph West to close the door on his teammate Jayden Taylor, who'll finish with the silver. But it will be gold, silver, bronze for University of the Cumberlands.